Hi, good to see you again. This is Living Jesus speaking. So, in this video, I have three topics. Topic number one, purpose of coconut talk. Clarify it. Topic number two, trying is essential for survival. Topic number three, what is coconut? What is consciousness? So, evidently, I'm not trained enough to make this kind of video without looking at my notes. I'm looking at my notes right now. I will waste both of your time and my time if I try to do so. So I'm gonna pretty much read this text. Okay, I prepared. This video is going to be much more efficient and less misleading. Topic number one, purpose of Coconut Talk clarified. Coconut Talk is the place where we attempt to construct a practical method to lead people to realize consciousness based on the beautiful key I found. I call the consciousness the coconut, a practical method we can apply at all time, including during we're sleeping. I actually have ideas for that. And use such method, or use the key nearly effortlessly instead of go sit in a quiet room and do meditation. This is the purpose of Coconut Talk. And to note, I just said we attempt to construct because I need your help. We need to see how effective the method is and how well the method is evolving. Everyone has different life, so it is impossible and foolish for me to try making such a method alone. It's pointless and inefficient. We have internet now. We can be connected at virtually anywhere on earth right now. Let's make use of that, right? Topic number two, trying is essential for survival. If you saw my video in the order of Coconut Talk number 1, Coconut Talk number 0, Coconut Talk number -1, and then this one, if you watch them in this order, you actually ended up watching them in the right order. Here I am again, Coconut Talk -2, okay? I went from 1, 0, -2, 1, 0, -1, -2. I realized something again. In other words, I got a better idea. That's why I'm making this video. Okay, as you can see from series of coconut videos, I make a video, then I realize something, and I make another video. I've kept doing this. You can see that I'm trying to learn here, trying to get better. If I don't make mistakes, or if I simply do not try, we get nowhere, and that's against the intention of coconut or consciousness. So I try. Coconut Talk is a life lesson at the same time as well. Maybe what you're seeing right now is a beta version of what I might be making in the future. I might make a different channel and start it all over again. That's nice and clean and organized, okay? But in this potentially a beta version, you are able to see me actually trying, doing this process and improving. So I think, someone can kind of learn by looking at someone trying to improve, right? So this try and error process is essential for success. In business, in sports, in music, all activities which requires improvements for better survivability. So namely, everything we do. Trying is really important. For example, in business, you will waste so much time if you attempt to make a product without prototyping. Prototyping is the first trial of making a physical product, or even like a logo or something. You kind of first, make a abstract roughly like this, and then work on the detail. So further, on the product, further you polish details in the process of developing mass production procedure as you go on. So that's what you do in business. Another example, sports. If you want to gain more distance on your golf driver shot, okay, you wanna hit it further, and you try changing your swing slightly, and see what happens. Does it gain more distance? Does it keep its accuracy? Stuff like that, right? So you try, and if it seems like a better swing form, and then you practice a lot and attain such a swing form, right? Another example at school, maybe if you need to write an essay, you first list up key elements that will be in the essay, and then put them in right order, right? Most effective order. Then start writing the essay. So you do try and error in the process of listing the key elements itself. Oh, maybe this is important. Maybe this is important. Oh, maybe not this one, right? You do try and error, right? And putting them in order is the same thing. Oh, this order is more effective. Okay, you can follow that, right? So trying is essential for survival, and that's what you can also see in this video series. Okay. Topic number 3. What is coconut? What is consciousness? I had a hunch, and I always thought that yogic science is essentially same as coconut talk. Okay, to guide people to the consciousness, to be aware of it and guide them towards it. Right? That's what yogic science does. I don't actually know all about yogic science, but I think in my image, that's what they're doing essentially. So what I call the coconut here is what a yogi calls a consciousness, right? Sounding more sophisticated now, right? You understand more, right? I just didn't have I didn't specify the word, the right word, right? So that people can understand and accept more easily. But instead, I just tried, right? So I ended up saying spirit, God, or something, in the worst case. And then coconut, of course, in the other videos. I'm still a 6-year-old coconut diver, so please forgive me for confusion, if I made you confused. But I like the word coconut actually, so I call it a coconut, okay? I'm not going to change for now, at least. I'm going to explain a little bit. Coconut has coconut water in it. If you're in a survival situation, which we all are in all the time, survival situation, we need water. Imagine a tropical island with no river, no pond, no water spring, but there are coconuts. There are such island like that, and you know you need water to survive. That's one of the essentials for life, right? That's why, I said the essence of life, right? In Coconut Talk 1 introduction. That's why I like it. Consciousness is what's inside the coconut, and that's how I'm depicting it. It lies within ourselves, and it is omni-existent, meaning it's existing everywhere, right? It's everywhere. In Coconut Talk 1 video, I talked about something and someone who was aware of coconut, right? I mentioned about Christianity and like Apple Inc. Right? So someone who led to make Christianity, maybe Jesus, or someone who decided to make Christianity. Right? That's one person or multiple people, I don't know. And someone who is closely related to the construction of Apple Inc. Maybe Steve Jobs and Bruce Lee and William Shakespeare are four examples of such being who by himself happened to realize consciousness, realize the coconut. Leonardo da Vinci is probably another example, right? So similar example of such beings who were and is a scientist will be introduced in a YouTube video I will mention towards the end of this video, okay? And I happen to become one of them through my first two impacts, which happened in August 18th, 2012 and February 7th, 2015. And as a side note, I probably never told anyone this, but my second impact actually happened a day before that. That's February 6th actually. But it would have been very interesting to me mathematically if it was seventh. So I was, I'd been saying seventh, but it's actually sixth. But it's pointless, and and I shouldn't and I can't lie. So I'm gonna say February 6th, from now on. On the second impact, I became sure of the coconut. I was sure by that impact. So in my first T1D video, type 1 diabetes video, I said something like, I have everlasting love inside of me, right? Since the second impact, meaning that the coconut is love itself and it is everlasting, right? Like many significant people I listed above, I am using the power of coconut, power of love. And I'm calling Tommy Living Jesus, right? I'm using it to attempt to cure my mother's disease, right? Mother's T1D. It's said to be incurable, and also using that love, the coconut, for coconut talk here, trying to build a method or science to be aware of coconut and you know to lead them there. So now to make super clear about consciousness, the coconut, I have a method, right? I will close this video by introducing you to a YouTube video. This video explains about consciousness very, very well. Everything this guy Dada, everything he says in this video has meaning. So go, you don't have to go word by word, but just pay attention to everything he says. And it's really good. It's well done. You probably know by now that like I can't do that well, at this point at least. I'm not trained enough. So, but he already did it so well. So go watch the video called Consciousness, the Final Frontier by Dada Gnamuktananda is his name. And like I happen to know like there's Ananda at the end of his last name. I think it means love or something like that. And it's a TEDx video. Is that how you pronounce it? TEDx. I will put the link down below, right? So thanks to YouTube, thanks to Dada, thanks to TEDx. And for those of you who are slow English understanders like me, and for people who don't understand English, and also for young coconut divers, right? It's really deep, this thing, the consciousness. So I actually wrote out everything Dada said in the video, right? In the text form, right? So I'll put that in comment section down below. So I think if I start from uh, commenting from the bottom, like if I start like his video, like comment from the bottom and like that work upwards, I think it's gonna be in the right order, right? I'm gonna try. So it's gonna like if you can copy paste or like do whatever, you can translate it, right? And read it slowly and over again as well. So I thought it might be useful for you, right? So how this copy paste and like using translation technology, how useful is that, man? It's so nice. So thanks to the technologies. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.